What's up, YouTube? Thank you so much for watching. My name is Troy Devlin. I'm a men's health coach. I specialize in weight loss, and I have a question for you. Is breakfast the most important meal of the day? Is it? Is it the most important meal of the day or not? I'll give my opinion later on in the video. What I would ask is that if you appreciate health and wellness concepts and you support me on my mission to try to help just one person, I would ask that you like or subscribe. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know how I can get better, and we'll get right to it. Breakfast, is it the most important meal of the day? The reason that I ask is because I will sometimes see people make impulse breakfast related decisions. It's first thing in the morning, right? And let's say they're stopping at the local convenience store or whatever on their way to, or on their way to work, or maybe let's say they get to work and then they're walking by the donuts that everyone brought in. And people will oftentimes make bad food choices in these situations, and the person knows that they're making a bad food choice. And if this person is then talking about why they made that bad food choice, oftentimes the person will say, well, because, breakfast is the most important meal of the day, so having something is better than having nothing. And I would argue that having nothing is better than having something bad, okay? Because as a human being, we are designed to go a little while without food if it's not convenient for us to eat at that point in time because we have to worry about survival, or let's say that we can't find food that day. It's a tough day, or it's a tough couple days. We can't find food. It doesn't make any sense that a situation like that would cause us to perish, because we wouldn't do well as a species if that were the case. So I invite you to reconsider your relationship with hunger. Maybe get in touch with what that actually is. Some people find fasting to be helpful in terms of helping them reawaken their senses. Many of us are in a state of sensory anesthesia where our taste buds are bombarded with so much salt and sugar and fat in perfect combinations, and just produced in a lab and chemically altered in such a way as to make them irresistible to us, so we crave them and we must have them. And natural foods that come from the earth probably aren't going to compare to those types of foods on the flavor scale. And so some of us, we lean towards those foods when in reality we know that those foods don't support our goals, overall our health goals, right? We know these foods are bad, but we're eating them anyways. We kind of like them. They taste good, but we're telling ourselves that we're doing this because, well, it's better than having nothing. I would argue having nothing is better. If you imagine being out in the woods, let's say that you're lost, right? You went out hiking and you got lost. Oh, geez. Well, maybe you went the wrong way. It's going to take you a couple of more hours to get back to the car or whatever. Would it make sense in that being lost in the woods scenario? Would it make sense to just all of a sudden just start consuming whatever plants you find alongside the trail, because since you're lost in the woods, you might starve? In other words, would it make sense to consume some poisonous plants because you're lost in the woods? To me, that doesn't make sense. To me, you're lost in the woods, so you have one problem there. Don't create another problem by consuming poison because you feel like you're in the state of starvation when you're not. Your body was designed to starve. It's possible that's even good for you. I hear a lot of good things about fasting. Explore it yourself if your health is up for it. But guys, real talk. The whole point of this conversation is to just maybe bring your awareness to the fact that we've lost our appreciation for what we might consider bland flavors, because we've sort of been led astray. We've been bombarded by all of this very extreme sensory input in terms of flavors and marketing, and what we're told as far as brainwashing and programming and everything else. But at the end of the day, you are responsible for what you put in your body, what you consume. And if it's not supporting you, give yourself permission to change. So the first step in that process is noticing. The invitation is to bring your awareness to what you're eating. Maybe if it's a little bit too extreme, step back from it for a little while. Not saying that you can never go back to it, right? We all enjoy some of those. I guess they would be referred to as ultra processed foods, cupcakes and chips and pizza and all these things. They can be wonderful at times in moderation, but we have to be careful that in consuming these foods, we don't lose our appreciation for the foods that we would consider to be healthy. I would consider them to be real foods. Understand there's a difference between what is actually real food, which some people consider to be health food, and then other stuff, which I consider to be a trick, smoke and mirrors. It's not actually food, and much of it has been altered in such a way as to lead you astray. So forewarned is forearmed, and I hope this video helps. So please spread the word of mindfulness and how we can direct our attention to what we're eating, why we're doing it. Feel free to change those stories at any time. I'd love to hear what you think. I'd love to hear what you guys are facing out there on the front lines. And so let me know, and I'll try to get back to you. I appreciate you watching. We'll see you soon.